Ellis, current policy director with America First and President Trump's only official super PAC and former senior policy advisor to President Trump. Curtis, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. Your thoughts on Fauci and this pushback recently from the White House?
Well, everybody knows when you go to a doctor, it's very good to get a second opinion. You want to get a second opinion. I guess that document that the White House put out says if you can get a second opinion from Fauci himself, because he'll give two opinions on everything. But look, there's again, we see overreaction here. There is absolutely no question that Dr. Fauci is not being deplatformed. He can wear a mask, but he's not being forced to wear a muzzle. He's out there talking all he wants. You have to wonder, though, if this guy, Dr. Fauci, maybe, can you take yes for an answer sometimes? How about some good news? I mean, we have studies out of Iceland, out of the Netherlands, out of Ireland that says children are not vectors of transmission. Young children do not transmit this disease to adults. How about talking about that for a change? Talk about some of the good news. The death counts, the fatality seems to be staying flat or falling for the most part, very low. Instead of always talking about the high case count and everything, which certainly is something to watch and be concerned about, but we don't have to go into this catastrophic, apocalyptic attitude all the time. Yeah. But the other thing, seriously, is look, Dr. Fauci knows one thing, right? He's an epidemiologist. He's not a practicing doctor. He's an academic doctor. This is a big country, and there's more than one thing to worry about here. Is he talking about the people who are dying because they're not going in for other treatments, for heart attacks, people dying of depression, suicide, drug overdose, the long-term effect that this will have on our children if they don't go back to school, that will be effective for their entire lives. I mean, these are things. So all I'm saying is you have to get second and third and fourth opinions if you're managing a country. If you're managing an epidemic treatment, maybe, and you're looking at studies and double blinds and clinical trials, fine, do that. You're an expert in that. No one's disputing that. But there's many other factors. There are a lot of moving parts in a continent-wide country like our own.
Yeah, one of the things I think that stood out to me as well when reading through some of the mainstream media articles that are sent out is Dr. Fauci says it may not be possible for the NFL season. I find that interesting because it's almost he's the gateway. You got to go to him to get a token if you can have NFL or not. He can give his opinions about what he thinks with the virus, but getting so specific to say, nah, NFL, you can't. I don't think the NFL can have a season. It just shows you how stretched out he can be because, like you said, he's given that platform. There's no muzzle on this guy. Even if you took him out the task force, he's going to be propped up.
Yeah, look, he can wear a mask, but he ain't wearing a muzzle, and nobody's. And I'm sure he enjoys people coming to him and asking him for his opinion on everything. Sure. What you have for dinner tomorrow, Dr. Fauci? I mean, and when I go to a doctor, I get second opinions and I get third opinions, and that tells you something. I don't need a second opinion on the temperature at which steel melts, right? Nobody says that. There are hard sciences, and then there are other sciences. And for all of the great advances in medical research, we still tell people get second and third opinions on
things. Let me just show folks this, just to give you one of the many. Dr. Fauci has been wrong on a number of things during the pandemic. Here he is on our air telling Greg Kelly back in January, it's nothing to worry about.
This is not a major threat for the people in the United States, and this is not something that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
You see for yourself, that question, that answer was to a question about coronavirus in America. Curtis.
Yeah, well, as I said, you can get a second opinion from Dr. Fauci. Wait long enough, you'll get a couple of opinions on everything. And this is a guy that never shake hands again. But you can go out and date people on the internet, on Tinder or something. You can pick people up. Many people in Washington, many people who work in Washington, even in these career positions, know how to navigate politics. Yeah. And they know how to curry favor with public opinion as well as the opinion of their
Curtis, do you think that's why mainstream media defends him and gives him that platform? They like his message? Is it back to everything he says opposes something strong for our economy, which would oppose the president? Does it go all the way back to the hatred for Donald Trump?
You want to go all the way back? Go back to the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. He was in the middle of that. And that turned into a very brutal and ugly fight, as well as a very deadly epidemic. And he managed to navigate the shoals there and then finally curry favor with all of the protesters who were just vicious in their attacks on him. They accused him of everything from corporate cronyism to killing people with AIDS to ignoring the evidence and pushing useless drugs because it would profit the drug companies. I mean, they accused him of everything except what your previous guest accused him of. So so, you know, people are sensitive to public opinion, and, you know, it's nice to be on TV all the time. I'm not saying that's what's motivating Fauci. Sure. I'm just saying that, you know, these days it seems a lot of people in the media, we can criticize the granite heads on Mount Rushmore, but everybody wants a plaster saint. They're looking for somebody that's like infallible and right all the time, and that just doesn't exist.
Jesus Christ, that was it. That's the last time you're going to see a perfect individual. Curtis Ellis, thank you so much for your time. It's good to see you.